Hello there, and thank you for joining us once again for another episode of the I'll Try That podcast. I'm Matthew Barber. Joining me this week are Joe Druitt.
Hi.
And Richard Drambwell.
Hello.
And thank you. I hope you're going to enjoy tonight's episode, or today's, depending on when you're listening. We are dealing with, wow, bear with me a second, Gweilo out of the Brew York brewery. This one's going to be interesting. We'll get into that a little bit later on, though. But first, I'm going to introduce you to my lovely friend, Mr. Drabwell. And Mr. Drabwell has got a piece of beer news for us. Richard, tell us more, please.
So the main reason this one caught my eye because of the excellent media outlet Lad Bible.
They're the first word in serious reporting, aren't they?
Well, 100%. It's where I get most of my news from.
If I'm honest, Rich, that fact explains a lot, if I'm quite honest.
Hey, did you guys hear about Don't Even Try?
No.
But it caught my line with it was just a great statement at the start of their article. It was the anti-pinters won't like this.
Oh, okay.
They're anti-pinters, so people are all about the cans, are they? They hate pint glasses.
Or just the people who just hate people enjoying beer and pints.
Oh, I see. More general about not liking beer. Yeah. Right.
But it was
those bloody wine drinkers.
Yeah. But it was that the rule. So the rule was brought in that pubs and other places could send alcohol out in takeaway glasses and everything like that. So,
well, hang on, this is during the pandemic that was happening, right?
Yes, this was during the pandemic. They extended that you could take pints and glasses out and everything like that in takeaway glasses. But they've decided, as of I think it was today, I think it was the rule has been they're going to extend it for a year.
Okay.
Because it's quite an important thing for a lot of businesses, I think, isn't it? Because some of them have been under threat the last couple of years with not being able to do their thing, and this is actually just going to free it up a little bit, isn't it? And actually.
Give a bit more flexibility. Yeah, totally. You know, if people want to go walking around the shops, they can take a trusty. They can grab a beer en route and just walk around.
Does the plastic cup offend you, particularly if you are partaking of a pint?
I think because I've been to so many sporting events where it's pretty much a given you're going to get some form of plastic cup. I'm not fazed by it at all. Having a plastic cup,
the plastic straw offends me more,
or the lack thereof. You mean? Or
no,
the actual...
I'm just not a fan of the plastic straw.
Okay, I thought.
Well, thankfully they're getting phased out and getting replaced by the rubbish alternative, which is a paper straw. Which, as soon as you use it once, you can't use it again. It's awful.
That's why. Look, I'm a big fan of my metal straw.
I was going to. I thought that's what
metal straws.
Yeah,
we have metal straws.
Old, reliable.
Are you consuming your beer through a metal straw? Is that what you're telling the listeners?
No, that was the iced coffee I was drinking prior to joining in the podcast because I needed a pep.
That's good. It's these little nuggets of information of your life which the listeners cling to. They love to hear these things
really
about
relieved.
your life.
I really thought I was the biggest white girl in this group, but actually Travis has just absolutely trumped me in a big way.
Please tell me, Rich, that was a pumpkin spice latte iced coffee.
This is going to sound really bizarre, though. But I've currently got a week between jobs. So I've just left my one job and I'm starting my next job on Monday. And I've been trying to fill my time in this week because it was just a random week that I wasn't expecting to get. I thought just holiday was given me and all that. So I've had a week where I haven't really organised a lot, but I've been trying to master to make the perfect iced coffee. So every day so far, I've been drinking about 4 or 5 iced coffees throughout the day. Ones I've been trying to make. So I've been pretty amped.
Hang on. I was going to say you must be wide. Have you tried decaf in any of those, or is it all straight caffeine?
No, it is all espresso shots. And
sleeping okay?
Yeah, my dairy intake has been quite a lot.
Well, it's a good question about that because I've for my coffees, if we're going down this route of coffee drinking, I consume quite a lot of coffee in my through my working week, and I have just made this one simple trick will
blow your mind.
Blow your mind. I've swapped from dairy into oat milk. I'm an oat milk boy, and I love that stuff. And for coffees, it's perfect. Get the oat milk barista. Either from Oatly is the best one, but M&S do a fantastic oat drink as well.
Oaty drink.
Because they're not allowed to call it oat milk. Basically, they have to call it an oat drink.
Yeah.
Drink.
There are no nipples on oats. It's got to be said.
Oh my god.
No need for that. I find oat milk a little kind of sweet and a bit weird. Like I don't know. I can't quite. I'm not like anti it.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's definitely different. And I think those that try once. I mean, I've been doing this a while, and I've migrated onto oat milk from trying soy. I tried almond. I've tried a pea milk as well.
Milk.
I'm very. Yeah, it's huge. Pea based milk has become.
That'd be weird if it's huge. The peas are tiny. They don't have to be quite. You can't. You can actually get a pint of milk out of a single pea. That'd be, no, I'm just hardcore.
How do they even extract it?
I don't know. This isn't very beer related in many ways.
I was going to say, what was even our hot topic now? I've completely got lost track. I'm now very fascinated by coffees.
Takeaway beer is going to be a thing for another year.
There you go.
That's it, yeah, there we go.
Which you can also do with coffee, FYI.
But also with the beer thing, with it being hot, hey, that's okay. Because actually, I heard all these things. We talked in a recent episode about. Quite like to talk about weather, didn't you say, Church?
Yeah, I'm quite fond of it here in the UK.
Apparently, a half pint of beer is actually quite good for keeping you cool. But actually, much beyond that, you have diminishing marginal returns of drinking beer.
I could believe that.
Mad.
And let's face it, the best thing to keep you cool in hot weather, a nice cold glass of water.
Yes, yeah. Actually hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the lesson of this week. But okay. Well, we'll leave it there. I feel we've covered that quite comprehensively. In fact, the World Health Organization.
I think we've covered my iced coffee making habits and what milk I should be drinking.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm just
definitely try it out, Rich. You won't look back.
Yeah, that's okay. I will.
I think my phone is lighting up with the World Health Organization saying, "What else should we do when it's hot?" But maybe that's just me. But okay, right. How do we segue into Gweilo? Am I saying Gweilo correctly?
I think exactly. I don't know how to say it. This thing, it's got some characters on the front as well. Anyone has to guess where these characters are coming from?
That looks like Japanese to me.
Mm-hmm. That was my first guess, but I sometimes get Japanese and Korean mixed up a little bit. If I'm quite honest.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So
just out of curiosity, how often are you reading Japanese and Korean in your day-to-day life?
I think you get it. We observe it, even if I can't read it. It's on things that that I consume. I don't know. It's there. I think I could recognise. Like, I haven't watched the whole of Squid Games, but Squid Games is no, I haven't watched it all. I know you. I need to watch it basically.
You need to be up with popular culture, Joe.
I know. I learn my popular culture through memes. That's basically where I get a lot of my pop culture references nowadays.
You're at least a decade ahead of me in pop culture references. But actually, do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I was really tempted to lie to you just then. But when you said you got mixed up with Japanese and Korean, for instance, I went, oh, maybe it's Cantonese. And I have now looked on the can, and it confirms it is Cantonese.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So, honestly, I had that thought before I looked, and was trying to figure out a way to do a very funny joke about it being Cantonese on the can, but it's just a little bit unwieldy, basically. So now at least we know the origin of Gweilo, Cantonese.
Do you know what Gweilo stands for?
If I continue reading the can, I'm hoping it tells me.
So apparently, Gweilo is actually a common Cantonese slang term for Westerners.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So in absence of modifiers, it refers to white people.
We're a bunch of Gweilos.
And has a history of being racially deprecatory and pejorative use.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Which kind of makes me wonder, why have these guys put that on this can? Why have they named a beer after something that could be, have that kind of background to it?
That's I'm a little bit lost for words with the. I'm just trying to think.
I mean, let's be honest. Though. I mean, at the same time, like, it wasn't really in our parlance, was it? We weren't familiar with it, so yeah.
No. I mean, totally. I don't have anything. It's just more like that's just an interesting. Now you know the backstory behind it.
Interesting route to take.
Why? Because from what I can see, there is nothing about this beer that makes it feel like it's Cantonese or it needs to have that kind of name. Is all I'm kind of getting at.
You should wait till they bring out English knobhead. That's apparently the next one. If there was a beer called English knobhead, I would definitely go and buy that. That's what I am.
So some people would say there already are a couple of lagers that are.
No.
Oh, look, there's a beer with my name on it.
Naming cans and having your own name personalised on cans is all the rage right now. So
Coke were real trendsetters, weren't they?
That's it. I mean, actually, talking of that, Brew York have recently come out with that you can put your own name on a can now. And I literally saw this on Instagram and thought, oh my god, we've reached real saturation point of putting your name on things when it's happening with cans, beer cans.
Isn't it? You could do that with Cadbury's years ago, though, couldn't you?
Yeah. Exactly. Coke popularised it, but it's been done for a long while. This is the whole trend of personalisation, and marketers and brands have gone, oh my word, people, consumers want to personalise things. How can we help them personalise things? They can put their own name, or they can pick out a product that has their name on it. It's like, well, those rubbish name tags on the, seaside resorts and towns that have on license plates, like little fake key rings of license plates with your name on it. They've been doing it for years.
So I was just thinking. So we were just talking about the term Gweilo, and then we went off on that rant about seaside towns and people buying awful merchandise.
When you say we.
So we've got a term in Dorset which they call tourists, which is grockles.
Yeah, I've heard of
grockles. I've never heard of this before.
So I was just thinking along those lines. It's probably all the grockles buying all these wonderfully branded products.
I think that's a South Coast thing, isn't it? People turning up, who turn up July and August are grockles, aren't they?
Grockles. So,
Let's face it, it also appeals to a bunch of Gweilos as well, though.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that personalisation... Look at that. This can go like in our word for the day. Every day I look in the dictionary, I get a new word. I hope this personalisation goes on another stage, though, like beyond names and like in insults or character descriptions that get you right in the feels. I think the perfect one for me would be something like insecure about inability to grow a beard. Like that could be my beer. I'll let you do your own because it's not so we don't get too personal with it. Anyway.
I think with that kind of beer, you'd have to have something a bit more catchy, like the unbearded or something like that. You know. But anyway, let's go back to this beer, because this beer. Anyone want to describe want to name what this beer is outside of it being called Gweilo? What is it?
We've all got the same, haven't we? The peanut butter and raspberry jam pale ale.
Which is not a sentence you hear very often.
Yeah. I don't think I would ever say that in a bar. I would go up to the bar and go, "Excuse me, can I have a Gweilo peanut butter and raspberry jam pale ale?" There's just too much going on.
You just say to the guy behind the bar, wouldn't you? Can you just ruin my evening?
You'd also get a bit miffed if you went to the barman and said, "I'll have a pale ale, please," and he put this in front of you. No. Hang on. Sorry, back up here. What?
That's not right.
You know what? My initial reaction to this beer was, "I'm not enjoying it. What is this?"
It's a grower, though, isn't it?
I'm enjoying it. It's a
grower.
And I'm quite enjoying it.
I hate to agree with you guys, but it definitely is growing on me.
It's a grower. It's a grower, not a shower.
And I genuinely didn't want it to be a grower on me. I didn't want to enjoy it just because of the name and everything else, the connotation, just everything about it. But the initial smell and everything like that. But
yeah,
I'm really enjoying it. It smelled like it smelled a bit like it's cardboard for some reason.
Cardboard? That's
I don't know why. I don't know why I've got cardboard in my
mouth. Yours might actually be off then in that case.
My initial smell was the jam. I got jam roly-poly. That was the first thing that hit my nose, and obviously that was the jam coming through. I wasn't really getting any of this peanut butter.
Exactly that. And actually, to be honest, the peanut butter was the thing I was kind of looking forward to. Little insider tidbit. My absolute favourite chocolate, at least at the moment, is Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, okay.
I love a bit of peanut butter. I don't think I'm just getting fizzy raspberry. That's all I've got.
It's very very raspberry jam orientated for me, and the flavour profile on the tongue as well is also very raspberry bearing. And, so it's a very sweet beer. I think we can all safely agree on that it's a very sweet beer.
You know what? I'm getting more peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
I am getting raspberry, but I'm getting more the peanut butter coming through. I get the initial raspberry, the tartness of the raspberry, and then I'm getting a longer kind of peanutty taste.
Interesting. That's interesting though, because maybe this could be a beer that, you know, like for some people smells like jam and tastes like jam, and other people it tastes like peanut butter and smells like cardboard.
Is it like that dress that was all the craze on the internet? With some
Is
people saying it's gold?
Is it gold and white, or is it
blue?
black and blue?
Yeah, totally.
Changes every 5 minutes.
Sorry, that cardboard coming about the nose
Smells like
brilliant.
cardboard. Oh, sorry. No, I was just smelling some cardboard at the time.
I'm surrounded by cardboard at the moment.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It reminds me of an old...
I need to put that on a t-shirt. This beer smells like cardboard. That's too good.
Cardboard smells like cardboard.
So yeah, but then there's nothing about this. Just so outside the taste, and we've got unless you've got something else you want to talk about the taste, Babs.
No.
No. So outside of the look of this beer, which obviously looked quite, you know, different, it's got this thing. I struggled to find who made this. So it's not until you really look on the can, at the back, on the side is this logo, Brew York, with some sort of, you know, logo, which I can't actually tell what it is. So I've Googled Brew York, because it's not a company I've come across that often. And then I've just noticed one of the beers I actually even have downstairs that I was trying to get us to do for another episode is this Ton Coco milk stout. And this is by Brew York, but it looks different. It looks like all the other beers on this Brew York website. So I wonder where this Gweilo comes from, because it's made by Brew York, but it's not listed on their website. It looks like maybe it was a special edition, but it doesn't say anything about special edition. Oh, it does say, it says limited batch. So there you go.
That one says limited batch.
Yeah, there you go. So
Gweilo
they've
are also
discontinued it.
Yeah, so have you seen some of the other Gweilos that are out and about?
Oh, I didn't know there were more.
Well,
Tell me more.
Did we actually get off lightly with the peanut butter and raspberry jam pale ale? So,
oh, wow. What else do we have?
Rainbow sherbet sour.
Woof. Okay.
Yeah. Session IPA. That sounds all right.
It's just called a session. Oh, the rainbow.
The rainbow sherbet sour is one in its own right. There is a session IPA.
Yeah.
There is a tropical lager. And a lowrider alcohol-free pale ale.
Interesting.
A couple of out at the moment. I think that's all. Bear with me. We might have some more now. Sorry, the peanut butter is there, and the other one is the totally tropical sour, rather. So 6 at the moment that they're obviously trying, and because they're limited batch, they're probably those like those field notes that we spoke about the other week for. Who did field notes? It was one of those guest small batch beers from one of the other breweries. So yeah, trying some stuff out. I was so ready to hate this from the first sip. I don't think I love it yet. I don't think I love it. I think I can tolerate it now.
I'm not going to go out and buy it again.
No,
but I'm not going to. I was the same. I wanted to hate it, but it's okay. I quite like it.
It's. I'm finding it not very. It's not very malty, and it's not very hoppy-y. It's not very hoppy either, really. Is it? It just me doesn't really taste like beer.
So Brew York, founded in 2016, so again, a very relatively new craft brewer. That's how they describe themselves. Started up by two friends, or two guys who basically met at a mutual friend's stag do, shared their love for craft beer, and then started home brewing together, which became Brew York. So, they, as you can kind of guess from the name Brew York, they're fans of two things, puns, and from York, they're being from Yorkshire. So, Brew York, it's from the heart of Yorkshire, is where this tap room and brewery is kind of is made. So that's their whole thing, is that they're just basically two avid beer fans, and they started making beer, and that's where it's all come from.
So to that end, this is going to be a little bit difficult, but I've got some beer. I'm trying to give you the type of beer and the name associated with it, and see if you can see if you can get that out. So you might have to bear with me on this while I try and figure out how to give you a clue. Well, it's a good sign that I'm laughing at them anyway, aren't they? So these are some of the puns that are involved. Right, so there's a Kirsch, and think about people.
What?
Oh God! So this whole segment's just not going to work at all. Shall I just give you the examples? The Kirsch is called Kirsch Russell.
Brilliant.
Like it?
Love it. Yeah.
There's one called. I'm guessing it's a juicy, fruity IPA sort of thing. Something juicy.
Yeah.
Do you want to have any ideas at all? Juice.
Juice. Goose.
Juice, loose juice about this hoose. No. In fairness, that's leading you down the wrong alley anyway. Juice Forsyth.
Brilliant.
That's another one.
That was very good.
I hope they actually balanced out the amount of time figuring out the names as they did actually brewing the beer. Karma Chameleon.
Brilliant.
We've got actually. Sorry, I did see this earlier. This is my favourite. Dame Judy Quench.
Yes, very good. Very good.
Diana Voss.
Yes.
Duo Leaper.
Nice.
I really want,
I'm
very curious to try Mutang Clan,
Yeah,
which I'm guessing
that's
got to be a milk stout, hasn't it?
It has to be for
I believe
Moo.
it's a milkshake-based beer.
Oh, that's
okay.
fun.
Something involving rhubarb. Do you want to have a guess on that one? Rhubarb. It's not rhubarb. It's not rhubarb and custard. Hang on. What did you roll with that? What did you say?
Barbara Streisand?
Barbara Streisand.
Yes. I don't know why that's. When you said Barbara, or you said rhubarb, it was just like Barbara.
Yeah. God alone knows what Obi-Wan cannoli is. Well, actually, not God alone, but
cannoli.
Cannoli's a fruit, isn't it?
Isn't cannoli a pasta?
Yeah, I don't know. Cannoli is like an Italian pastry dish with like cream in it. I think, isn't it?
Oh, we're definitely
cannoli?
wrong. There's a couple. There's a cannoli, which is a food, which is a pastry dish, and there's hang on.
Cannelloni is something complete.
Cannelloni is the pasta.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So there's cannoli, which is cannoli, which is the oh my god, it's the same word. It's just one's a pasta and one's a pastry.
Yeah.
So I was right with the pasta.
Yeah, I'm sorry for running your I just know cannoli as being the pastry. It's like a sweet dessert, isn't it?
It is spelt differently though, so he was right to ridicule you, Rich.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay.
Always.
I just saw one that's the scone alone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Brew
good.
York, but it's a cherry scone sour IPA.
Woof.
And I'm like,
everyone else.
That sounds a bit up my street.
Mm.
And there's lots of people, half the people listening might be looking at that thinking, no, it's scone alone. And I don't get it.
Yeah, that's it. Well, my only real thing with connection with Rich and scones is when Rich dabbled in making cheese and mustard scones and went very heavy on the mustard.
Ooh, okay.
Presented them at a house party, and we all went, "No, thanks, mate."
Yeah.
very civilized house parties you guys have been having.
I was making scones for a house party.
No, I think you were trying to offload them to us. Yeah. Because you realised they were quite inedible, but couldn't quite bring yourself because you'd made them to throw them away, and we kind of did that for you. It was fine.
I know that you guys are secretly 42.
Quite good house parties.
Very civilised house parties, very Gweilo focused house parties.
Yeah.
So,
dear, oh dear.
You did mention the Gweilo thing, but did you know it does talk all about the Gweilo bit on the side of the can?
oh, tell me more.
Well, it goes I'm going to need to turn a light on. I realise I'm in very much the dark here. I was struggling to see, but it says on the side of the can, Gweilo's Cantonese term meaning ghost or chap, Cantonese slang term used to describe foreign settlers in a canton in the 16th century, affectionate slang term used to describe foreigners in Hong Kong.
Okay.
It wasn't derogatory, it was an affectionate
Well,
term.
in Hong Kong, which is obviously, one part of... Anyway, long story short, let's use it, let's own it, it's brilliant. It's I've learnt a new word, and it's funny for us, and why not, And the fact that they can put it on their cans and a lot of people go, I don't understand what that is. It might be Japanese, it might be Korean, but actually it's Cantonese. And so you've learned something new every day.
Every day's a school day.
Okay. So Instagram, they have 27.4k followers. This is Brew York beer.
Oh, fair. That's a good number.
Nice.
And on Twitter, they have 10k. And yeah, they're doing actually right now, they're in Helsinki by the looks of things. Posted 3 hours ago on Radio Helsinki promoting their beers.
It has got a nice finish, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, everyone.
And that's all we have time for this week's episode of the I'll Try That podcast. And so from me, Joe, Rich,
Barber,
and Simo.
Goodbye. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram,
Twitter.
I'll try that podcast.com.
And watch us on YouTube.
Goodbye now.